Cam Newton is in a very curious place in his NFL career because at one point in time, he was very much touted as the future of the league in the best way possible.
No, you're looking big. I don't know how you fit in that uniform, man.
Getting the MVP award and taking the Carolina Panthers to the Super Bowl for the first time in years. But despite all that skill and talent, injuries heavily weighed him down, and now his future is very uncertain. However, he still has made a lot of money over his NFL career and has spent it in various ways that are, well, let's just say, unique. So allow us to show you 7 stupidly expensive things that Cam Newton owns. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 7, his outfits. Let's start off with something that is absolutely a Cam Newton trademark, his outfits. Because not unlike certain other athletes in certain other sports, Cam Newton had the idea that in his post-game press conferences that he would go and try to style it up, if you will, by dressing for success, if you want to call it that. Look, just take a gander at some of these outfits that Cam has worn, and you'll see that many times he's just trying to throw people off their game as they ask him questions. Or maybe he really does think that some of these things are in style. And if that is the case, wow. Anyway, you can tell that many of these outfits are high quality and thus are very expensive. Plus, you need to remember that he has had many of these outfits bought or made for him throughout his NFL career, which is now many years old. So when you add all that up, you're likely talking millions spent on his outfits. Ones that we bet he probably doesn't wear anymore. Number 6, rented houses. When you're a star in the NFL or other sports leagues, you have connections that many people don't. And some of those connections are well and true Hollywood connections, to the extent that these stars can go and reserve certain things or ask for certain things from certain stars. For example, when Cam felt he needed a special residence somewhere, he went and asked for WWE superstar Stacy Keibler if he could rent out her house for just a few months. She said yes, and for $123,000, that place was his to live in for just a bit. Now, the house was gorgeous. It has multiple bedrooms, bathrooms, views of the nearby areas that were breathtaking, and so on. But you might have noted that we said it was gorgeous. That's because Cam didn't really adhere to the unspoken golden rule when it comes to renting properties. Leave the place better than you found it. Because he had partied hard in that house. So much so that when Stacy found out what he was doing and the damage that he had caused at the place, she kicked him out and then sued him for all of the damage that was done. In the end, he had to pay $270,000 for the damage that he brought to the home that he was renting. So when you add all that up, he had nearly a $400,000 cost for something he didn't even own. Nice one, Cam. Number 5, the condo. Naturally, Cam Newton did go and get his own place while he was with the Carolina Panthers. Specifically, he went and got himself a $1.6 million condo in Charlotte, North Carolina. The 3-bedroom, 3.5-bathroom unit offers 3,335 square feet of luxury living space. It takes up half of the 5th floor of a building known as the Trust, a location that the listing details calls the most exclusive address in uptown Charlotte. There are 7 units in the building, and Newton snapped up his condo through an LLC in April 2012 for $1.6 million. Another tenant in the building, NBA legend Michael Jordan, occupies the entire 7th floor according to the Charlotte Observer, which further makes it one of the most desirable locations out there. Because come on, who wouldn't want to go and live next to Michael Jordan? Exactly. Newton's signature style is apparent throughout. One amenity that acknowledges his career as a gridiron star, a full-size Pepsi machine emblazoned with Newton's likeness. Gleaming hardwood floors cover most of the interior, and exposed ductwork and concrete ceilings lend the unit a loft-like vibe. This enormous master bedroom has a glorious bathroom with a huge soaking tub, a large walk-in closet for all the outfits we talked about earlier, and more. The fact that he spent over $1 million on a condo and not a house says a lot about how he feels about certain things. But the joke was on him, because he had to go and sell the condo when he got let go by the Panthers and picked up by the New England Patriots. Number 4, jewelry collection. Let's head back to Cam Newton's look for a bit, shall we? Because when it comes to him and his beliefs on certain things, there is no doubt that he has a certain style that he adheres to throughout his career. But it goes beyond just clothes. He also has a swath of jewelry and watches that he likes to show off when he's around. And we're not just talking small-time watches and such, we're talking about top-tier watches like Rolexes. He's been spotted in many of them over the years, including some of the Yachtmaster line that other athletes like LeBron James are known to wear. It's been stated that based on the watches themselves, Newton has hundreds of thousands of dollars in watches in his collection. Truly, he is a man that likes to keep track of time. Sadly, these purchases are all too common with certain athletes. We already mentioned LeBron James because he too has a large collection of watches that range in the tens to hundreds of thousands of dollar range. And don't get us wrong, these watches look great, but are they really that necessary? Number 3, the hats. Yes, we already talked about Cam Newton's fashion sense, or lack thereof, and yet we have to put a special spotlight on the hats of Cam Newton. Mainly because this is a man who loves his hats, and even if he's not wearing one of his crazier outfits, he'll go and make sure he has a hat that stands out. A man named Alberto Gonzalez in Venice, California is the man responsible for these hats, and by that man's admission, he said he's made about a hat a week for Cam since he met him. That is a lot of hats over a couple of years of knowing him. The funny thing is that the hat maker doesn't always charge Cam for the hats because it's just so much fun to make. Cam is more than happy to sing Alberto's praises and even notes that the man is famous in the celebrity community for the hats that he makes. We don't know how much he spent on all the hats that he's got, even with the freebies, but you can expect it to be rather large, and just like the hats themselves, over the top. Number 2, donations. Cam Newton is known for many things and not always the best of things. However, despite his controversies, he is known to go and do charity work when he can. For example, one time he went and did a tour across some schools in North Carolina and took care of the schools in various ways, including giving them $30,000 to go and start a backpack program for the student. He also went to a food pantry and donated $10,000 worth of food to them so they could feed as many people as possible. Still not done though, he went to another school and took the kids to a Dick's Sporting Goods and just let them run wild and get whatever they wanted so they could go and play. He's done this kind of charity multiple times, and it does show that he's willing to spend a lot of money on others and not just himself. Number 1, car collection. Not surprisingly, Cam Newton is among the many athletes who believe that owning a really cool car is a must. So much so that he went and got a 1970 Oldsmobile Cutlass 442 and then decided to deck it out in gold and diamonds. Yep, for real. Now for something that's a little bit more modern, he went and got himself a Ferrari F12 for about $300,000. And then that car got destroyed when he was hit by a dump truck. No joke. He was fine though. The car? Not so much. Another car he has in his massive collection is a Rolls Royce, one that just so happens to have cost him almost $500,000 to get. Many people have spotted him in this ride, and thus many would say it's one of his favorite cars to go around in. And finally, he got a Chevy Silverado that he customized to make it more, well, Cam style. All in all, he has spent millions on his rides, and these are just the ones that we actually know about. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the things that Cam Newton has gotten over the years via his NFL salary? Do you think that some of these things are indeed stupidly expensive and that Cam Newton shouldn't have gotten them? Do you think that given his current situation, he's likely regretting some of the purchases that he's made given their cost? What do you think is the NFL future of Cam Newton? Or is there one at all? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we will see you next time on the channel.